Welcome back to Hack City, Joe DeLeone Show. God damn it. Welcome back to Hack City, Joe DeLeone and Sean Anderson, two former college football players from the University of Rhode Island. We're here to recap FCS Football Week 8. Reminder that today's episode is presented to you by FanDuel. If you're going to be betting on college football this season, make sure you head on over to FanDuel. I'm thinking of putting down a plus 1,000 bet on Gunnar Stockton to win the Heisman with the way that he played yesterday. If you want to join me in on that, make sure you head on over to FanDuel. Sean, there wasn't a lot that really happened in the FCS this week. One of our quieter weeks because we didn't have very many really big head-to-head battles. We're going to talk about the one game that we previewed between North Dakota and SIU in a second. But Idaho lost to EWU, which is a very, very big issue as this Idaho team seems to have completely lost its footing.
Yeah, this is a rough one. Idaho was so hot to start the season, and they have cooled down dramatically. You don't lose to EWU now if you're Idaho. Is that fair to say? After the expectations of last year and seasons prior of the consistency and strength and seeing EWU fall off, you don't do this. And the quarterback situation in Idaho, confusing. 3 quarterbacks saw the field. They started with Jack Wagner, mixed in Rocco Cock throughout the game, and then Nick Josephic.
I don't know if it's Cock or not, by the way. I just like calling him Cock.
He closes out this one against EWU. Not a good sign. I thought Jack Wagner was taking strides earlier in the year and that he was kind of putting down good game after good game, and now it is not the case. It's rough. They need to figure out that situation at quarterback first. I believe they have a good team. I do. I think they have talent. I like their coach. But losing to EWU is a bad place to be when you don't have a winning record. And they're going to they have to do now a remarkable crawl out of the dungeon.
Well, and it's just not plausible for them to completely turn this thing around. As you said, they were hot. We thought that this offseason that there was a real path for them to be one of the top teams in the FCS, and they had the bones of one, but you've got a completely new head coach, a new regime. Coach Eck left, and it really puts you on some bad footing. As you said, it requires a lot. You have to beat Northern Arizona, UC Davis, and Sac State and Idaho State are not going to be walkover games either. So we're on some pretty rocky footing here where they're very realistically not going to get to 500. They'd have to go 7-5 to get to the playoff, and I believe this year they already played. No, they played 2 FBS teams, and they were close with both those FBS teams. That's why we thought that they had a legitimate shot to do something, that they could have gone on to become one of the seeded teams in the playoff bracket for the FCS. But here we are. I think this is a bit of a reset year.
Now they're 1-0 against the Grimace Conference, which is good for them. You know, that's strong. We put together a really strong unit over here at the GC, but they're 0-3 in the Big Sky. I thought they were going to be competing and up with the ranks of the 3-0 teams in the Big Sky right now. Montana, UC Davis, Montana State, Sac State, and EWU have been surprising at 2-1. That's their group. They're not in the Weber, Portland State, Northern Colorado group, or the Idaho State group. They should be above them. They're not. Weird season, weird situation. I'm not going to call it the Hack City curse. Some would be confident too, though. When
have we cursed anything else, though? I don't think we've ever legitimately cursed any other teams, because we went to South Dakota State when they beat North Dakota State in the marker game. So
that was good. That's right. I think we're clear.
So we're not a curse. We're not like Madden. We don't have any curses.
Okay, I guess we're doing good then. All right, Idaho, just get right then. But we'll take zero responsibility happily.
My early season take and preseason take has been truly, truly vindicated. North Dakota, dominant victory, 38-19 against this SIU squad that I didn't have faith that they were going to be able to run the rock. They struggle running the rock. Sawyer Seidel. Is it Seidel? We say this every single time.
Seidel. I'm locking in at Seidel.
100 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Jerry Kaminsky didn't really have to do much in this game, but man, North Dakota took a 28-0 lead at halftime, and they just latched onto it, held onto it in a very, very dominant win.
You're a sicko for trying to get me to switch over to SIU for this pick last week in FCS.
You should have, coward. You needed it.
Why would I? No, to switch. SIU lost. I was riding North Dakota as I should have. They're a good team.
But you got to take risks sometimes.
I took a bath this week. I have not done the numbers yet. I didn't. I saw a lot of red for myself. DJ Williams saw a lot of red against the North Dakota Fighting Hawks. You did fine. It wasn't the DJ Williams miracle game playing near perfect that he needed to have against North Dakota. And this is the result where SIU is a good team, but they're not good enough to hang with North Dakota on a normal day. They have to be exceptional to be playing with the top 8 teams in the nation. Still a good season for them. They can still keep tracking and do well, but there's levels, and the farther we get into the season, the levels become more clear. Now I say that, and in a couple of weeks, all the levels will be messed up again. But right now, we got clear levels. North Dakota, very good, kissing up under that, coming up in under the top 4, the real big dogs at the top of the FCS.
So, with that point though, as I've said, there's a little bit of that tier break from North Dakota State, South Dakota State, Montana State. I am going to throw North Dakota in there. I am willing to put North Dakota in there because they have had some very confident, very just like really established wins. And now I think it's fair to assert that the way they looked against Kansas State and the way that they're looking at the current moment is justified in my placement at keeping them at number 6.
Oh,
I want all you voters out there.
See, I
better move them up to 6 where I have them. Where'd you put them?
I still have some time on my ballot here. I have a submission, but knowing that you're only at 6, maybe I take.
What are you going to put them at 5?
Maybe I'll become bigger.
Also, Tarleton. I forgot to include Tarleton.
Yeah, it's hard to put them over Tarleton. That's hard, Tarleton, because I don't know how committed I am to the bit of having North Dakota ranked higher than you.
Put them at 1. You won't. Put them at number 1. And then I won't have anything that I can do. Youngstown beat Illinois State as the Missouri Valley Football Conference is getting incredibly difficult to understand who's the best in the middle of the pack. Youngstown kind of a storm back as they ended up scoring 21 points in the fourth quarter to win this game. I really think that we can talk very highly of Bo Brungard and the way that this team played. 200 yards rushing is the most comical stat line for a quarterback. Bo is balling out, and the Penguins are back in the mix.
Yeah, when a possible fat stat winner is also on a good team and having big wins against a good Illinois State team. Other pollsters have had Illinois State higher than me, but I've respected them. I think Illinois State's good. Not as high as other people have had them, but Youngstown State actually being good and Bo Brungard being an impact player means I have to burn some of the fat stats energy right now to talk about this performance. 528 total yards and 5 total touchdowns on their headpiece. That's nuts. That's a crazy day for Bo Brungard. And he's doing stuff like this every week. And I keep on saying this about him every week. Is he the best quarterback in the FCS? Probably not. Does he have the best intangibles to go to the league? Probably not. But he's putting on a show every week. What else are you here for? You're not making the decisions in the front office. So sit back and stop being such a critic of this guy. I like Bo Brungard. He's fun TV. He's a good FCS quarterback, and he's making the season exciting. Youngstown State's been, rough lately. And to have a guy come in here and start actually wielding his athletic prowess on everyone, it's good to see. Tommy Rittenhouse, good day, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks. You couldn't hang with the Bo, though. He was Brungarding all over you. I'm workshopping it.
Who also was impressive, Tarleton. Balls came out for Gabalis on this West Georgia team.
See, that was just gold. I can't beat, like, we can't beat
blew
it early.
We did blow it early with our balls out. This West Georgia team, fraudulent. I will not be placing them in my rankings anytime soon. Tarleton, man, this was supposed to be a competitive, close battle. Grimace Conference, stand up. We're just saying a bunch of words. Nobody knows what the hell they mean. We also got for a great game from James Page and Trey Page. Trey going for 92, James going for 106. They're not related, of course, by the way. Their names are spelled differently. But the Tarleton squad is starting to mount momentum.
They have it all. They held strong while Gabalis was out. And look at this. the big handsome leaders back and you put up 45 against a pretty good team, that's how you do it. Tarleton's legit. They're legit. I know that maybe I have had some instances of overlooking them in years past, maybe even as recently as last year. This is a different year, though. This is a new season. They are dominant. They are a force. They are a team that is not your Big Sky, long-standing, all the history. It's not Missouri Valley. Oh, my gosh, they're just churning it out. They're new. They're new to the scene, and they're good. So you better start learning about them as we are. We're not doing bits like this for bad teams. It's a good team that deserves excellent nicknames like Get Your Balls Out, Victor Gabalis. It's a good program, and they're a real threat down the line.
Before we continue on, I want to remind everybody that today's episode is presented to you by Delete Me. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online in a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everybody vulnerable. Data brokers make a profit off of your data. Your data is a commodity. Anyone on the web can buy your private details, and this can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, and harassment. But now you can protect your privacy with Delete Me. The New York Times Wirecutter has named Delete Me their top pick for data removal services. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me. Now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off of your Delete Me plan when you go join deleteme.com/pro. That is deleteme.com/pro. Use promo code PRO at checkout to get 20% off. Also, a reminder, today's episode is, of course, presented to you by FanDuel. Presbyterian 7-0. Yeah. What have you to say?
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. No, don't
Why
pose that
shocked?
question like that. Don't pose that question like that. Don't you dare. What do you have to say?
No, that's not what I said. What have you to say?
Oh, what have you to say? Even worse. Oh, my God. I'm near speechless about Presbyterian being 7-0.
They also dogged, completely worked Stetson too.
We're bragging about Stetson victories.
What have you to say?
I have to say I'm utterly floored because normally these bits run out at about September 20th, and we're looking down the barrel at another month of Presbyterian winning games.
I'm not only talking about it as a bit.
It started revisionist history.
They're the best color gardening tool related team in college football ever. Yeah, how many other teams do you know have some sort of gardening tool in their mascot name?
That would be tough for me to work through. 7-0 is good. They're on the top 25. Here's my litmus test for Presbyterian. I don't think they could beat Harvard, so I keep that.
They don't play Harvard, so
they're basically an Ivy to me right now, and that's how I'm grading them.
They are eligible for the playoff.
I know they are.
Presbyterian is going to go in there and they're going to play a football game. They're not going to win it.
If you're an audio listener, his smile is ear to ear right now. He may sound serious, but he's not.
They will suit up for a football game in the playoff. What happens in the outcome of that game is irrelevant.
It's a good year. I'll be happy for Presbyterian. I can be. I have no ill will towards Presbyterian anymore. I'm scared.
You should have them ahead of Mercer. They beat Mercer.
They're fine.
You're a real hater piece of shit.
I'm not. That's crazy to say.
Hey, social team for Presbyterian. Put his face on your helmet.
Hey, what is that? Don't
make him a target.
I'm fine. Whoa, that is crazy. I'm fine with Presbyterian. It's 7-0. They barely beat anybody. They beat Stetson. I'm not going to sit here and start changing my tune because they beat Stetson.
Yeah, you
should. Lot of teams have.
Piece of garbage.
A lot of teams have beat Stetson.
Piece of garbage.
You're a bad
piece
person.
Of garbage.
You're a bad person.
Piece of garbage.
You start rifling through these.
Yeah. Sacred Heart, elite football program, gave a little bit of a scare to Montana. We're not allowed to say Montana dominated them, even though they beat them by 22 points, because Sacred Heart kind of hung around a little bit towards the end. We're not allowed to say that. We're not allowed to say that the final score doesn't mean that they didn't dominate them. But actually, in all seriousness, Sacred Heart got a little bit of teeth. I think that in the NEC, there's a legit shot that the Pioneers, soon to be a CAA team, that they could maybe one of those teams that sneaks into the playoff. But Montana felt like you go up 22-0, you kind of just vibe, and then you realize, oh shit, this team's actually going to try.
Yeah, my official stance on this game is Montana was a better team than Sacred Heart. And if these
what analysis?
If these leeches want more from me, they can start acting a bit nicer. That's how I'm at. Freaking Pate bullied Mizzou to get into the weight room. I'm going to start being mean to these people, these nice folks out in the mountains.
Yeah, they were nothing but nice to us. The race at the top of the CAA, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this one. We got Monmouth dominated Stony Brook, and then Rhode Island completely smoked Albany. So now we're with a 2-team race on the East Coast, trying to win the CAA. It doesn't really seem like there's really many other teams in the mix.
No,
at the top
between these two, it's who's going to get their defense right and ready first. And Monmouth is not just the air raid, air heavy, all over your head top. They got good running backs. Rodney Nelson's a stud. So if it's coming down to it, Rhodey's got to get their defense right and right fast. Keep winning games. Good against Albany. Always love to crush Albany, but you have a real problem if Monmouth continues to roll. Yeah. Okay. This is the big.
Of course. After I have hyped up Mercyhurst is the greatest 1-4 football team. I forget what the record was. They lose 37-0 to Duquesne. They're now the best 3-5 football team in the history of college football. They had. I obviously didn't get eyes on this because who watched a Mercyhurst football game? From my understanding, Austin Urena, a wide receiver, attempted 29 passes. It's not exactly a recipe for success and victory.
I mean, we are still in the Stone Age when it comes to getting appropriate data out to the people that cover.
No, that's not like he's literally a wide receiver.
Oh my God.
That's not even that's not an error. That's not like me pointing out like, oh, someone wrote this down. No, he is a wide receiver. I don't guess. He is a wide receiver.
Duquesne ran all over those frauds, that fraud-ass Mercyhurst team, 360 yards on the ground. Put this bit down like a dog. They're done for. Best 3 and 5
No, they're coming back, dude. I'm not out on this team yet. They're the best 3-5 team. They're the best 3-5 team in the history of college football, and you respect them.
No, I will not.
Piece of shit.
No, I will
say this about all the teams that I like.
I guess I'm the mean guy today.
Yeah, you are.
I'll be the big
asshole.
meanie. Oh, that's crazy. I'm getting shivved here.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the Grimace real quick.
What's the Grimace?
Let's get Grimace and Fat Stats, and we'll get out of here. Slow week. Hoping to get some more fun weeks going. Grimace not bad this week, 8-5. Thank you. That puts us up to a 51-43 record in the FCS, 51-55 on the season, 12 losses to FBS opponents. We're crawling back to an over 500 total record.
But who's leading?
The leader in the clubhouse of the Grimace Conference, Tarleton State, 8-0, 1-0 in the Grimace. Tennessee Tech picked up a big win. They're second, 7-0, 1-0 in Grimace. Abilene Christian, 3-4, 2-0 in Grimace, though. So we're going to have to figure out how we're weighting the regular record versus the Grimace record. Additionally, Western Carolina got a big win. St. Thomas, Holy Cross got their first win against Richmond. That was big. Get on the board, fellas. Weaver State beat Portland State.
Screw you, Richmond. Richmond sucks.
North Alabama got a win. SFA got a win. Now let's pick on the losers in the conference, make them feel bad. Furman, Stonehill, Albany, Alcorn State, ACU. Losers hurting us this week. Hurting us. And then the bottom of the Grimace Conference, because we're not really interested in talking about the middle. SFA 0-1 in Grimace, 5-2 overall. Furman 4-3, 0-1 in Grimace. Western Illinois, this is where we get into the real basement. 1-6 overall, 0-1 in Grimace. Alcorn State 1-6, 0-1 in Grimace. North Alabama 2-5, 0-2 in the Grimace Conference. Again, if you are new, these are all purple teams in the Grimace Conference League that we have created.
Don't explain it to them.
Just letting people catch up if they're new and they're sitting here thinking, well, this is a bunch of gibberish. Now it's an even worse segment. Well, here's a little bit of context for you. Now, simple for the dummies in the back, Fat Stats, big stat lines.
Wait, before you move past Grimace.
What you got?
Shout out to Nate Masso, who every time we mention Central Arkansas, he comments Central Arkansas mentioned, and then a little check mark. Shout out to him. That's a good bit that I've recognized.
Another good bit. Sending in your Fat Stats to the Fat Stats collecting team, and then continuing our war against the Sam Herders, who are still trying to steal this bit.
No, don't come after Sam.
Don't come after our segment. That's my stance on the matter. Week
Maybe
8.
we should ask him to contribute.
We had some good. Oh, and let him steal the thunder? I think not.
I think we can use as much pub as we could get.
Maybe we'll send a DM. Week 8, we had some big performances. Western Carolina quarterback Teron Dickens, 28 of 33, 369 yards, 5 touchdowns, and a pick with a big win. Montana quarterback Kialia Yacht, 27 for 33, 349 yards, 5 touchdowns. His arm's getting better, folks. He's doing well passing. Last year was just development. He's coming into his own. URI quarterback Devin Farrell, 19 for 20, 1 incompletion, 333 yards, 4 touchdowns against Albany. Youngstown State quarterback Brungard. You heard this once. You're hearing it again. Touched the ball 64 total times in this game. 528 total yards, 5 total touchdowns. He's a beast. Southern Utah running back Joshua Dye, 179 yards, 2 touchdowns. Northern Colorado wide receiver Carver Cheeks, elite name, 9 catches.
No way, that's a real name.
23 yards, 3 tuds. VMI wide receiver Owen Sweeney had 13 catches, 208 yards, and a touchdown. To close it out, Jared Richardson from Penn, the wideout, 6 catches, 157 yards, 3 touchdowns.
I'm obviously going with the guy who carved up some cheeks. You kidding me? I don't even care about that. Brungard.
I'm taking Brungard.
I'm taking the guy who just carved up some cheeks. I mean, like, we don't even have to do a bit with that one. There's no bit that has to be done with that one. He's carving cheeks.
Good game, young man. Good game. 223 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Dog, if I was walking into parties and my name was Carver Cheeks, I'd be unstoppable. Instead, I was walking around, my name was Joe. I had nothing cool to say
hey,
about
I'm
me.
Joe. Carver's not a bad first name either. It's pretty good. I'm the Carver.
See,
I just introduced myself as the Carver. I wouldn't just want to be okay. That's
I nothing happened.
You know what? We actually got a light that flickers over here when it's time to wrap the show, and it gets flicked on by a certain apparatus of Mr. DeLeone.
At Joe DeLeone at Sanderson Radio at Act City Pod 201-834-4308. Call in, leave us a voicemail. We'll talk to you later.